Hi dear, how is your day going dear? Thank you so much for your joining. A lot of love and respect for your joining. Hurry up everybody, have to write your name in the chat, making the like and subscribing to the channel. A lot of love and respect for you joining us. Every respected member to write your name in the chat. Hi Epic Gamer, how are you Epic Gamer? Thank you so much for your joining. Thank you my dear, thank you so much for your joining. Please guys to write your name in the chat. I want a lot of love and respect for you joining guys. Let's write the name of the every person in the chat. Lonnie, how are you dear Lonnie? Thank you so much for you joining dear Lonnie. Taro, how are you dear Taro? How are you Taro? Thank you so much for you joining dear Taro. A lot of love and respect for you joining. Leomi, how are you Leomi? Thank you so much for you joining dear Leomi. Saffron, how are you dear Saffron? A lot of love and respect for you joining dear Saffron. Lara, how are you Lara? A lot of love and respect for you joining dear Lara. Please God, Jacob, how are you Jacob? Thank you so much for you joining dear Jacob. Aiseline, how are you Aiseline? How are you Aiseline? Thank you so much for you joining Aiselai. How are you Aiselai? Thank you so much for you joining. Jimmy, how are you Jimmy? Thank you so much for you joining dear Jimmy. A lot of love and respect for you joining. Ryan, how are you dear Ryan? Thank you so much for you joining dear Ryan. A lot of love and respect for you joining. Hurry up guys, every person have to write your name in the chat. Bobby, how are you dear Bobby? Thank you so much for you joining dear Bobby. A lot of love and respect for you joining. Dago, how are you Dago? Thank you so much for you joining dear Dago. Alice, how are you Alice? Thank you so much for you joining dear Alice. Leo, how are you Leo? Thank you so much for you joining respected Leo. Hurry up guys to write your name in the chat. Muhammad, how are you Muhammad? Thank you so much for you joining dear Muhammad. Sakina, how are you Sakina? Thank you so much for you joining Sakana, how are you Sakana? Thank you so much for you joining. Maris, how are you Maris? Thank you so much for you joining respected Maris. How are you dear Maris? Please guys send the laughing disco, do the super chat guys. Leo X, how are you dear Leo X? Rita, how are you Rita? Thank you so much for you joining dear Rita. Ahel, how are you dear Ahel? How are you Ahel? Thank you so much for you joining respected Ahel. Amir, how are you Amir? Thank you so much for you joining dear Amir. Kalistani, how are you Kalistani? Thank you so much for you joining dear Kalistana. Thank you so much for you joining dear Kalistana. Anusha, how are you, dear Anusha? Thank you so much for your joining. Respected Anusha, how are you, Anusha? Millie, how are you, dear Millie? A lots of love and respect for you joining, dear Millie. Thank you so much for your joining. Respected Millie. Soren, how are you, Soren? Thank you so much for your joining. Respected Soren. Anabia, how are you, Anabia? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Anabia. Everybody, please subscribe the channel, guys. Vanny, how are you, dear Vanny? Anybody can send the laughing disco, guys, or do the super chat. Yonchi, how are you, Yonchi? Thank you so much for your joining. Thank you so much for your joining. Please sit reminder. Lavinia, how are you, Lavinia? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Lavinia. Please, guys, to do a super chat or do the or send the laughing disco, guys. Ronnie, how are you, Ronnie? Thank you so much for your joining. Respected Ronnie. Aaron, how are you, Aaron? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Aaron. Manon, how are you, Manon? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Manon. Please, guys, and make the like and subscribing to the channel, and also have to write your name in the chat, guys. Mia, how are you, Mia? Thank you so much for your joining. Respected Mia. Please, guys. Clemens, how are you, Clemens? How are you, Clemens? Thank you so much for your joining. Museb, how are you, Museb? Thank you so much for your joining. Respected Museb, how are you, Museb? Hurry up, guys, to write your name in the chat, making the like and subscribing to the channel. Danala, how are you, Danala? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Danala. Adori, how are you, Adori? Thank you so much for your joining. Please, guys, send a laughing disco, do the super chat, guys. Ali, how are you, Ali? How are you, Ali? Thank you so much for your joining. Respected Ali. Thank you so much for your joining. Markilo, how are you, Markilo? Thank you so much for your joining. Respected Markilo. Thank you so much for your joining. Jao, how are you, Jao? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Jao. Hurry up, guys, to write your name in the chat. Ali, I write your name, my dear. Thank you so much for your joining. Please set your name, dear Ali. Buskan, how are you, Buskan? Hurry up, guys, to write your name in the chat. Alfie, how are you, Alfie? Thank you so much for your joining. Evelyn, how are you, Evelyn? How are you, Evelyn? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Evelyn. How are you, Evelyn? Evelyn, how are you, Evelyn? Maja, how are you, Maja? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Maja. Please, everybody, have to write your name in the chat, guys. Send the laughing disco or do the super chat. Sarah, how are you, Sarah? Thank you so much for your joining, pretty Sarah. Reza, how are you, Reza? Thank you so much for your joining. Please, guys, encourage the likes, guys. Please, everybody have to encourage the likes, guys. Anas, how are you, dear Anas? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Anas. Hurry up, guys. Yunchi, how are you, Yunchi? Thank you so much for your joining. Any person can send a laughing disco or do the super chat, guys. Thank you so much for your joining, guys. Thank you. Asdora, Asdora, how are you, Asdora? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Asdora. Vigo, how are you, Vigo? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Vigo. A lot of love and respect for your joining. Jasung, how are you, Jasung? Thank you so much for your joining, Jasung. Hurry up, guys. SKZ, how are you, SKZ? Thank you so much for your joining, dear SKZ. Thank you so much, guys. Mali, yeah, I have write your name, my dear Mali. I wanna writing once again, Mali. I'm good, my dear. Payol, how are you, Payol? Any person can send the laughing disco or do the super chat, guys. Huh? Jason, hurry, Jason. Hurry up, guys. Everybody have to write your name in the chat. Anna, how are you, Anna? Thank you so much for your joining. And your best worker and SKZ. Minho, how are you, Minho? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Minho. Please, everybody have to write your name in the chat, guys. Leva, how are you, Leva? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Leva. Hurry up, guys. Everybody to write your name in the chat. Jasper, how are you, Jasper? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Jasper. Felix, how are you, Felix? Thank you so much for your joining. Alfie, how are you, Alfie? Thank you so much for your joining. Sorry, where I have ignored me. Is me what you mean, my dear? You should write your name. Please, guys, to write your name in the chat, guys. Asia, how are you, Asia? Thank you so much for your joining, pretty Asia. Every person have to write your name in the chat. Jafar, I write your name. Sorry, I forget to writing your name. Thank you, Jafar, for your joining. My mom name is Andrea. Okay, let me write your mom name. Andrea. Hi, Andrea. How are you, Andrea? Please, guys, hurry up to write your name in the chat. Nala, how are you, Nala? Thank you so much for your joining. Hanjin, how are you? Dogless, how are you, Dogless, how are you, Dogless? Thank you so much for your joining. I write your mom name, my dear. Jerry, how are you, Jerry? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Jerry. How are you, Jerry? Thank you so much for your joining. Angelo, how are you? Angelo, how are you? Angelo. Angelo, I'm writing your name. And sorry. Angelo. Okay, dear. Thank you so much for your joining. Katia, how are you, Katia? Thank you so much for your joining, Katia. Argus, how are you, Argus? Thank you so much for your joining, Argus. How are you, Argus? Thank you so much for your joining. Thank you, Rose. Yeah, I wanna therefore making happy to the every person. Rose, how are you, Rose? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Rose. My brother is 13 almost and 14. Oh, you so kind. Thank you, my dear. Aline, how are you, Aline? How are you, Aline? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Aline. Callum, how are you, Callum? How are you, Callum? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Callum. Soria, how are you, Soria? When I have to see the name, I write it, my dear. I never ignore any person. Michael, how are you, Michael? Please, any person can send the laughing disco or do the super chat, guys. Adili, how are you, Adili? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Adili. Alice, how are you, Alice? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Alice. Arfan, how are you, Arfan? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Arfan. A lot of love and respect for your joining. Nordani, how are you, Nordin? How are you, Nordin? Thank you so much for your joining. Megan, how are you, Megan? Please, guys, make the like and encourage the likes, guys. Also, if you can, so you should send a super chat, guys. Do a super chat, guys. Yeah, if you can easily. Dama, how are you, Dama? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Dama. Please, guys, everybody have to write your name in the chat, guys. Barode, how are you, Barode? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Barode. Custom, how are you, Custom? Thank you so much for you joining. Thank you so much for you joining, dear Custom. Cat Sim, how are you, Cat Sim? Thank you so much for you joining. Adarina, I write your name, my dear. Adarina, why you wanna blind, my dear? Anita, how are you, Anita? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Anita. Millie, can you do a super chat for my support? He is nice. He is does family names. Or and thank you, Millie. Sorry, Millie. Can you do a super chat for my support? Mason, how are you, Mason? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Mason. How are you, Mason? Palmita, how are you, Palmita? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Palmita. How are you, Palmita? Thank you so much for you joining. Yusuf, how are you, Yusuf? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Yusuf. Please, guys, you should have to do a super chat, guys, and encourage the likes. Thank you so much for you joining. Gampy, how are you, Gampy? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Gampy. How are you, Gampy? Nike Pro, how are you, Nike Pro? Thank you so much for you joining, Nike Pro. Mila, how are you, Mila? Thank you so much for you joining, respected Mila. How are you, Mila? Salim, how are you, Salim? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Salim, and lots of love and respect for you joining. Yeah, Kari, how are you, Kari? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Kari, and lots of love and respect for you joining. Hold, how are you, Hold? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Hold. How are you, Hold? Kari, I write your name, my dear. Sophia, how are you, Sophia? Thank you so much for you joining. Any person can send a laughing disco, guys, or do the super chat. Zan, how are you, Zan? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Zan. Everybody have to write your name in the chat, guys, please. Aicha, how are you, Aicha? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Aicha. Ken, how are you, Ken? Thank you so much for you joining, respected Ken. How are you, Ken? Malik, how are you, Malik? A lot of love and respect for you joining, dear Malik. Gamma, how are you, Gamma? Thank you so much for you joining, respected Gamma. Please, guys, encourage the watching and do the super chat, guys. Johan, how are you, Johan? Make a small donation, guys, no worry. Johan, how are you, Johan? Thank you so much for you joining. Sinid, how are you, Sinid? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Sinid. Nini, how are you, Nini? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Nini. A lot of love and respect for you joining. Malik, how are you, Malik? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Malik. A lot of love and respect for you joining. My oldest brother, Koki and Dave. Okay, Doris, Koki and Dave. That's your brother's name. Yeah, I write, my dear. Moke, how are you, Moke? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Moke. Please, everybody, to write your name in the chat, guys. Madalora, how are you? Hi, Madalora. How are you, Madalora? Thank you so much for you joining. Lohan, Ehon, hi, Ehon. Thank you so much for you joining, Ehon. Please, guys, to write your name. Moke, I write your name, my dear Moke. Kodu, how are you, Kodu? Thank you so much for your joining. Please, Nina. Hi, Nina. I read your name, my dear Nina. Any person can do the super chat for my support. Leora, how are you, Leora? Thank you so much for your joining. Respected Leora. Choi, how are you, Choi? Thank you so much for your joining, my dear. Hello, brother. How are you? I am good, my dear. Thank you so much for asking. Amelia, how are you, Amelia? How are you, Amelia? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Amelia. Please, guys, to write your name in the chat. Everybody, hurry up to write your name in the chat. Fassy, how are you, Fassy? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Fassy. Gentry, how are you, Gentry? Thank you so much for your joining. Please, guys, anybody can do a super chat. Okay, I write your name, my dear. Let me write it once again, okay. Yomo, how are you, Yomo? Thank you so much for your joining. Please, everybody have to write your name in the chat, guys. Vissy Hall, how are you, Vissy Hall? How are you, Vissy Hall? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Vissy Hall. And lots of love and respect for your joining. Cosita, how are you, Cosita? Thank you so much for your joining, Cosita. Sarine, how are you, Sarine? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Sarine. And lots of love and respect for your joining. Amber, how are you, Amber? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Amber. Every person to write your name in the chat. I'm checking if mine was there. Yeah, you wanna there, my dear. Calastina, how are you, Calastina? How are you, Calastina? Please, everybody have to write your name in the chat, guys. Bali, hi Bali, how are you, Bali? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Bali. And lots of love, it's done, don't worry. Iljan, how are you, Iljan? Alijna, how are you, Alijna? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Alijna. Abhiyan, how are you, Abhiyan? Thank you so much for your joining. Please, everybody have to write your name in the chat, guys. Jesus, how are you, Jesus? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Jesus. Please, guys, everybody have to write your name in the chat. Marcus, how are you, Marcus? Thank you so much for your joining. Please, guys, to do the super chat or send the laughing disco. Abu, how are you, Abu? Thank you for the sitar. Thank you. Thank you, Gyunga. Thank you for the sitar. Thank you so much. Can you send a laughing disco, my dear? Thank you, Gyoga. Thank you, Gyoga. Can you send a one laughing disco, Gyoga? If you can easily, it's the first star you have to send me. You have to send on my stream. Thank you so much, dear Gyoga. If it's easy, please have to send a one laughing disco. Okay, dear Eljana. And now it's okay, my dear. Alia, how are you, Alia? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Alia. Please, guys, everybody have to write your name in the chat, guys, to do a super chat and encourage the likes. Hurry up, encourage the likes, guys. Hurry up. Every person have to encourage the likes, guys. Thank you so much for your joining. Everybody have to write your name in the chat. Thank you so much for your joining, guys. Anna, how are you? And Leva, how are you, Leva? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Leva. 76 done likes. Yeah, you have to send a 6-7, my dear. Joker, hi Joker, how are you Joker? How are you Joker? Thank you so much for your joining. Iorania, how are you Iorania? Thank you so much for your joining Iorana. Anis, how are you Anis? Thank you so much for your joining dear Anis. Sarin, Musab, how are you Muse? Thank you so much for your joining. Justice, how are you Justice? Thank you so much for your joining. Aria, how are you Aria? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Aria. Alion, how are you Alion? How are you Alion? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Alion. Nesta, how are you Nesta, how are you Nesta? Thank you so much for your joining. Massey, how are you Massey? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Massey. A lot of love and respect for your joining. Muhammad, how are you Muhammad? Thank you so much for your joining. Please everybody have to write your name in the chat guys. Making the like and subscribing to the channel. Vin, how are you Vin? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Vin. A lot of love and respect for your joining. Alia, how are you Alaya, how are you Alaya? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Alaya. Rachel, how are you Rachel? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Rachel. A lot of love and respect for your joining. Winfrey, how are you Winfrey? Winfrey, hi Winfrey. Thank you so much for your joining, Winfrey. Goro, how are you Goro? Every person have to write your name in the chat guys, please. If you wanna consent the gift, you should have to click on the gift icon. Send out one laughing disco guys. Olivia, how are you Olivia? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Olivia. Aiden, how are you Aiden? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Aiden. Hurry up guys, any person have to write your name in the chat guys. Lelsi, how are you Lelsi? Thank you so much for it. Lalik, how are you Lalik? Thank you so much for your joining. Pika, how are you Pika? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Pika. Anonymous, how are you Anonymous? Thank you so much for your joining, Anonymous. Thank you Anonymous for your joining. Hurry up guys, everybody have to write your name in the chat. Hurry up guys, everybody have to write your name in the chat guys. Aljana, how are you Aljana? Thank you so much for your joining. Noel, how are you Noel? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Noel. Aveline, how are you Aveline? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Aveline. Please, every person have to write your name in the chat guys. Arisa, hi Arisa, how are you Arisa? Thank you so much for your joining, Arisa. Amna, how are you Amna? Thank you so much for your joining. Padro, how are you Padro? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Padro. Maslimi, how are you Maslimi? Mason, how are you Mason? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Mason. Kabi, how are you, Kabi? Thank you so much for your joining. Please, guys, everybody have to write your name in the chat. Please don't spam, guys. Please don't spam, guys. Just write your name, guys. Please. CJ, don't spam, my lovely brother. Please. Please, Catherine. Hi, Catherine. How are you, Catherine? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Catherine. Please, guys, write your name in the chat and don't spam, guys. Catherine, I write your name, my dear. Marcus, hi Marcus, sorry Marcus, I write your name once again, my dear. Thank you. Ale, how are you, dear Ale? Allah. Bali, how are you, Bali? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Bali. Please, guys, to write your name in the chat. Parisi, hi Parisi, how are you, Parisi? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Parisi. Please, everybody have to write your name in the chat. Hurry up, guys. Yagit, how are you, Yagit? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Yagit. Again, how are you, again? Please, any person can easily to make a super chat, guys, or send a laughing disco. Aforine, hi Aforine. Lorena, hi Lorena, how are you, Lorena? Thank you so much for you joining, my dear. Corey, how are you, Corey? Thank you so much for you joining. Hurry up, guys. Everybody have to write your name in the chat. Arvin, how are you, Arvin? Hallie, how are you, Hallie? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Hallie. How are you, Hallie? Kasim, how are you, Kasim? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Kasim. Alexa, how are you, Alexa? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Alexa. How are you, Alexa? Please, guys, everybody have to write your name in the chat. Mal, how are you, Mal? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Mal. Hallie, I write your name, my dear Hallie. Looks that. Please, guys, hurry up to write your name in the chat, guys. Nisa, hi Nisa, how are you, Nisa? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Nisa. Kale, how are you, Kale? Any person can send the laughing disco, guys, or do a super chat, guys. Hi, Kale. Jimmy, how are you, Jimmy? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Jimmy. Harper, how are you, Harper? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Harper. A lot of love and respect for you joining. Please, guys, every person have to write your name in the chat. Gentry, how are you, Gentry? Kevi, how are you, Kevi? Thank you so much for you joining, dear Kevi. Every respected member have to write your name in the chat. Leoza, how are you, Leoza? Thank you so much for your joining. Respected Leoza. Winfer, how are you, Winfer? Every respected member have to write your name in the chat. Rose, how are you, Rose? Thank you so much for your joining. Respected Rose. Kevi, I write your name there. Han, how are you, Han? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Han. Itam, how are you, Itam? Thank you so much for your joining, Itam. Hurry up, guys. Increase the likes and write your name in the chat. Every respected member to write your name in the chat. Eller, I write your name there. Hurry up, guys, to write your name in the chat. Adair, how are you, Adair? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Adair. Sasha, how are you, Sasha? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Sasha. Please, everybody, have to write your name in the chat, guys. Nova, how are you, Nova? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Nova, and lots of love and respect for your joining. Thank you so much for your joining, guys. Amis, how are you, Amis? Thank you so much for your joining, dear Amis, and lots of love and respect for your joining. Laris, how are you, Laris? Thank you so much for your joining, respected Laris. Hurry up, guys, making the like and subscribing to the channel. Ruby, how are you, Ruby?